Hey guys, I'm doing something a little different. For this is just this quick little heads up. Okay. I'm not even gonna really share the links. I'm just gonna post this up there so people can watch it. They can watch it. But the results are in for the Illinois Times Best of Award 2025. We knew they were gonna come in today. Now we've been thankfully nominated 3 years in a row, and we thank you so much for that. We thank you. First of all, we want to say thank you for nominating us. Thank you for tuning in every week. Thank you for voting for us. Thank you for getting involved in the fire sales with all the proceeds going to Wrestling for a Cure to charity. We thank you all very much. But the winners are in. And surprisingly, there is a new winner this year. We did not win, but I want to share the winner of this year's Illinois Times Best Local Podcast, State Week from NPR Illinois. That's huge. Now, everybody knows Morning Disaster has been like the Muhammad Ali of this category for years. They have been just straight up, barely anybody could touch them. But surprisingly, this year, 2025, was different. State Week from NPR won it. Congratulations to those guys. Congratulations to State Week from NPR Illinois. You guys, I know they have lost their funding. They've been going through some hell lately, but hey, you know what? They were the ones. I always thought it would be Opaghost. I always thought it was going to come down to either Opaghost winning it or maybe we would win it if we got lucky. Dethrone Ray, take the title home, but this year it was NPR. And NPR really did clear a lot with the categories. They won quite a bit. Best radio show. They have best female radio personality, which is really cool. They have basically came in and won everything. All right. They won almost every category they're in. So, hey, congratulations to the new champs. The new people we're going to dethrone one year, God willing. And it kind of brings into like, at the end of the day, it's the Illinois Times Best of Award. It's just a piece of paper. Yes, I would like to win it one day, but that's not my priority. It's never been my priority. It has never been this show's priority. Our priority has always been three things. One, the audience. Whether you're Skeletor on an oil rig, whether you're Broomstick, whether you're Corey, whether you're Steve from another podcast tuning in to listen to us, whether you're Stoner Chloe, it don't matter. Whether you're Chico, whether you're Black Alcohol Gaming, whether you're somebody new tuning in, the reason we do this show is because we like to have fun with it. We are a comedy show first and foremost. I've been there. We've all been there where maybe you were just having the worst possible day. Maybe your wife, your fiance, you guys got into a huge argument. Maybe, work has been hell. You're stressed out. You had to pay your mortgage and now you have no food to cover you for a few weeks. You got $5 to your name. Maybe you're, struggling with some mental issues and you just need a break. You just need to shut down. You need something to laugh at. That is what we do. Because in my opinion, if we can offer you at least 5 seconds to laugh and actually forget your troubles, then we have done our job. We have done our job. The second thing is our cast. Okay. Excuse me. Granted, yes, we have a large cast of characters. We had characters ranging from April to Lizzie to Bubba to Clue, Will Height, Sage, Hollywood, and all them. The reason they're all here is not because we're using them to, because we need this or we need that. No, the reason we're all here is because we all click together in some capacity. There are jokes that Bubba will make that someone like Sage or Klug will finish. There are jokes that April will make that, while, yes, it's directed towards a cast member like myself, 9 times out of 10, everybody laughs at it and it's all in good fun. We're not a cast. We're a family. We're the best damn family. And that means a lot compared to, where we've been and where I've been and whatnot. And the third thing, of course, is wrestling for a cure. Because at the end of the day, the reason I love working for that charity is because the truth is I will probably never have children. I probably never will. I would love to be a father, but it's probably not going to happen. And I am just a grown man who's really just not doing much in life. And here are these kids who are hoping that tomorrow they can wake up. Tomorrow they can go home. Tomorrow won't be as bad as today. What we go through on this show, whether it's a ball bat to the ass, a shock collar, a paintball gun, whatever we go through on this show, and this is what people ask me all the time, Tyler, why do you do this stuff? Why do you put your body in harm's way? Why? Because what I'm going through is nothing compared to what the kids at St. Jude's go through. And Wrestling for a Cure has been there for them. This is their 10th season. Think about that. 10 years. 10 years. They've been just firing on all cylinders, getting those donations, raising that money for 10 years. And I'm honored to be at least a part of that story. I'm honored to have been brought on, and I'm honored to have been brought on to help raise that money for those kids. What I go through is nothing compared to what those kids go through on a daily basis. And I will continue to go through it even until my dying breath. And the fourth thing that makes this show so special is the fact that this show defied the odds. We had other podcasts that were saying, oh, they'll be off the air within 5 months, 6 months, it's any day. You watch any day, they're all going to say fuck it and they're going to be done. Not once have I ever regretted creating this show. Not once have I regretted who I broadcast with. And not once had the thought came across my mind saying it's time to pull the plug. Because I love this show. I love our cast members. I love our audience. I love Wrestling for a Cure. And we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue, regardless of what a piece of paper says or not. NPR wants their piece of paper. Hey, good job. Congratulations. Because at the end of the day, this show is what's more important to me. And I would rather keep this show on its standards and on its ground than lose it trying to conform to something that wins an award. That's the truth. So, but at the end of the day, the real shocker is the fact that, State Week overthrew Morning Disaster, which it's like, they were like the Muhammad Ali of local podcasts, raised a huge radio legend in this area. And it's like, it came in, I think this is like their first year they got nominated, or I might be wrong. They might have been nominated before. I'm not sure, but they came in and they cleaned house. It's like, damn. That's crazy they did that shit. Now, we got nominated. And I'm very thankful we got nominated. I'm very thankful. We are a 3-time nominated podcast. And I would love to be nominated next year for a 4th time. I'd love to win it. But at the end of the day, it's like I said, this is a show that has its priorities etched in stone. So it is written, so it shall be preached. And we're fine with that. We're fine with that. And I wanted to take this time, since the results have come out, I wanted to thank every single one of you, whether you're Corey, whether you're Spoonie, whether you're Tokyo Mo, whether you're family, whether you're friends. I know we've had a lot of Gurkus in the chat room lately. We thank you. We've had a lot of, DeWitts and Allers in the family. We thank you. At the end of the day, we want to thank every single one of you for tuning in and saying maybe a few things. And if you leave to go do something else, you leave to go do something else. It's totally fine. We do have a lot of things coming in the future. We're not changing who we are, but we're going to start taking more opportunities. We have a huge opportunity to broadcast at a wrestling show, November Rain, this November. Prairieland Independent Wrestling's November Rain. We're broadcasting live there. And we're going to broadcast the show for everybody, and we're going to try and make it as professional as possible. I already know Aaron's going to be probably a color commentator for that. I'd like to get one more, maybe two, get somebody around the board. I'm running the camera, so you won't see me, but we've had an opportunity to broadcast there the whole show. And obviously, we will continue to broadcast the pregame shows at Wrestling for a Cure. That's going to happen. That's going to continue to happen. And I would love to see it to where we get into more events. I would love to get into more local events, not just in the Springfield area, but also the Jacksonville area, the Verdon area, the Taylorville area, the Peoria. We need to realize that Springfield, the way it is, it's a hard market. It's a very hard market to get into because obviously everybody's going to want to go towards the radio shows. We are just a podcast. I'm broadcasting literally out of my basement with fucking Transformers on one side, Godzilla and Power Rangers and Jurassic Park on the other, and a 357 Magnum tucked away down there. Nobody is going to sit there and say, we should get this DeWitt kid or this Bubba guy or this April girl to do this event. So we do have to get a little bit of professionalism. We are amateurs. We have never broadcast on radio ever. Will Height has done it for the charity, and so hasn't Givens. And I believe Sage has too. I'm not sure, but we are amateurs stepping our feet into the pool, and we are just learning how to swim. Granted, it's taken us 3 years to get to this point, but we're learning how to get there. And the big thing is that we're not here to give up. We're here to run this thing. I would love my ultimate goal for the Best Damn Podcast is to have it to where it runs like Central Illinois' version of the Tonight Show, where you will have me hosting it and you will have Sage hosting it. And then one day, maybe my health will get out of control. Maybe I'll get old. And I would love to see the Best Damn Podcast be passed on to another individual who has the drive and the power to run it, who wants to do this. And one of the reasons we don't really get into politics when it comes to, the Best Damn Podcast is because the best thing I heard was that shows like the Tonight Show are not meant to give America nightmares when they go to bed. The Tonight Show is there to put America to sleep. That was a philosophy that was spread by Johnny Carson, by Jay Leno, by Conan O'Brien, by even, Jimmy Fallon right now. And that's why we stay away from the politics. We get it. Politics is a big thing nowadays. It's everywhere, for God's sakes. And yes, we will poke the bear with politics every once in a while. I'm mostly down the middle. I don't have a side. I'm not a Trump supporter and I'm not a Democrat. But we also welcome all walks of life, whether you are a liberal or a Republican or whatever, to come in here and share your thoughts. Because what America needs to learn and what the world needs to learn is we need to live in a society where it is agree to disagree. We don't need people, well, you're on my side or with us. It's agree to disagree. I have arguments with my brother in law about whether dinosaurs are legitimately real. As a paleo junkie and somebody who has a Ceratosaurus tooth over here in his display cabinet, that's to me, they're real. To him, he thinks they might have been something else. And it's called, at the end of the day, it's called agree to disagree. Because at the end of the day, I know I won't change his mind and he won't change my mind. And that's fine. That's totally fine. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the show, we really try to be the best, and I feel we are the best because we're not jumping down each other's throats like some podcasts. We're not losing ourselves in the sea of political bullshit, dogma, whatever you want to call it. We are here to try and make you laugh. We're here because somebody needs to make you laugh in this day and age. I mean, let's face it, in this day and age, the banks are having problems, the government's having problems, technology is running rampant. There's concerns about, the next pandemic, the next epidemic, whatever. Somebody at some point needs a reason to laugh. One of the best things I ever saw was right after 9/11. Shortly afterwards, the whole world just felt cold. It felt cold and it felt frozen. And it felt like there was no hope. Everyone was scared, like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Is there going to be another attack? Is there going to be whatever? South Park decided they were going to come back after a week-long hiatus, a several week-long hiatus. They did the funniest thing ever. Because at the time, there was fears running rampant about what was going to happen next. Their first opening shot when they first came back, people didn't want them to come back. People were like, oh no, South Park shouldn't come back. South Park came back. First scene you saw was the boys standing at the truck stop wearing gas masks for fear of anthrax or a dirty bomb. And you have Stan Marsh saying, does anybody remember when this shit used to be stupid? That was what America needed to hear at that time. And I feel like that's the kind of thing America needs to hear nowadays. And thank you, Sarah. I'm glad, I'm glad. And yes, dinosaurs are real. But I'm going to run this just a little bit longer. I want to go for 20 minutes because I don't want to stretch too far. But at the end of the day, we have done our best. And we are going to continue. We're going to take it to the next level. We're going to take more opportunities. We're going to broadcast November Raid. I would love for the show one day to maybe broadcast a PWA show. We've always been supportive of Tim and the boys at PWA, just as much as we're supportive of Wrestling for a Cure show, just as much as we're supportive of Prairie Land Independent Wrestling show. I would love for more businesses and organizations to get in touch with us. I would love to do more interviews. I just emailed State Week at NPR to see if they wanted to come on the show one night and discuss things with us. Because I love doing the interview shows because it's always interesting to hear somebody's story, whether they're talking about Champ the Lake Monster, whether they're talking about mental health, whether they're talking about their cars, whatnot. It's always great to hear someone's story because everyone has a story to share in their lifetime. And I'm actually going to message here after I get off the air. I'm going to message Sage. I want to get him on to interview right before Prairie Land and maybe get some of his talent on here. But at the end of the day, we love doing this show. And I want to continue to make sure that people love doing this show and people love watching this show. If I could tell you, I mean, everybody knows the past I came from when it comes to podcasting. I've been on several podcasts and I left those shows for one reason or another. This is the one show that I can honestly sit here and say I love doing. I look forward to doing, whether it's the weird ass stories that come out of the chat room or it's a co-host that's just interrupting somebody I love doing this show. I love it. If I could, I would love to get paid doing this show. I would love to see this show go on radio or something like that. But I'm also happy where it is. I'm happy where it is. You know, there's a large billboard here in Jacksonville, just off Morton. It's one of those electronic billboards, and it lights up, showing you all these logos. And I thought to myself, you know, damn, how cool would it be for one day to see the show's logo up there, just up there, and just showing that this is like home. Jacksonville, Illinois is home to this show. That would be incredibly awesome, you know. So, on behalf of April Binkley, I said her name completely wrong. On behalf of April Binkley, on behalf of Jason Wilhite, Sage Ramsey, on behalf of Hollywood, Tim Gibbons, on behalf of Jason Kluge, on behalf of Bubba, on behalf of Maggie, on behalf of Aaron, and on behalf of everybody's favorite cave lesbo, Lizzie, I'm Tyler, and I wanted to say to everybody here, thank you for watching and thank you for tuning in. And don't worry, because when I sat there in that post and said the best is yet to come, we're working on it. We are working on that. Thank you all so much for voting for us. Thank you all so much for nominating. And we will see you guys tomorrow for a Halloween edition of the Best Damn Podcast. So long, everybody. God bless you.